Sorry, we have a guest for today's video. This is Lila. Say hi, Lila. Lila, stop. Hi, I'm Isabella. I don't even know what you consider me now. As you're preparing for the end of the semester, some of you may be getting ready to take your first pharmacy school OSCEs, so I thought I'd share a few tips dedicated to best prepare you for OSCEs. I think the most intimidating thing about this exam is that it's your first ever real practical exam where you demonstrate your skills. And mostly what makes this an intimidating exam is the setting that you're in. It's very professional, it's very serious. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm just going to put a picture of the setting here because you really don't know what it's like until truly your first experience. So my first tip of advice to you is don't just memorize the rubrics, like practice them. You might know the rubrics by heart, but actually saying them out loud and counseling a patient on a medication or counseling a patient on how to use insulin, it can feel completely different once you're in the room. Next tip of advice for you is make sure you're listening to the patient, because sometimes what they have to say could direct your next move. For example, if they express an exclusion of care, it's important that you listen and acknowledge that versus already preparing what you're going to recommend, because you want to make sure you're making the best recommendation for the patient. Part of the rubrics too is you're not just being graded on your skill, you're being graded on your empathy. So for example, if a patient were to say to you, this year has been really tough, I just lost somebody in my family, this would be a good time to be like, I can see how this can be really challenging for you. I just want to take a moment to acknowledge what you're going through, and I can admire the fact that you're here today trying to take charge of your health. And then just allowing for that natural pause in conversation, it makes somebody feel like you're listening to them and really acknowledge that you care. Lastly, don't rush through the stations. It's really important to be as clear and as thorough as possible. You may have anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes per station, and that might not seem like a long time, but when you're in there, it is actually a long time. So just take a moment to do what you need to do so that you can make sure your mind is right. Remember that everything that is going to be in the OSCE is nothing that you're not prepared for throughout the year as you practice those tangible skills, those communication skills. This is where it all comes together. So just let that shine through your performance. Best of luck. Make sure to share how your OSCE experience went with me. I'd love to hear about it. So thanks so much. Hope you have a wonderful day and follow for more.